Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Con. Rich Walsh alongside Tim Benz, and we're taking your phone calls tonight on the Bordas and Bordas hotline, and we're talking about the Kentucky Derby, the replay debacle. I don't know if it was a debacle. All the stewards think that they got it right, but it took 22 minutes, more than 22 minutes. And I think when something takes 22 minutes, you should just go with the call on the field. Replay has ruined the NFL. It's ruining baseball. It's ruining everything. And now it ruined the Kentucky Derby for the first time in the history of the Kentucky Derby. The winner, who led from start to finish, wire to wire, maximum security, end up being called for interference coming around the quarter pole. With War of Wills, I think it is, and you know, look, I'm not a horse racing expert, and I'm not going to pretend to be.
No, let's
I
pretend.
watched the 3 races.
Let's pretend.
We'll pretend. I watched the 3 races, and I just think it's, you know, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. The horse won. It was the best horse out there. You heard some of the analysts say that. And then you give it to a 65-1 odds horse that finished second. Good for that horse, but I feel like it's I don't know.
Well, we are both. First of all, let's just establish you and I are both the size of jockeys, so that makes us fit to talk about horse racing in and of itself, right there. You just used the phrase, use the call that stands in the field, right? You used the but here's the difference in horse racing versus any other sport. If there's a play that is being reviewed, it stops and you review the play.
Yeah.
There is no stopping in a horse race to review it until it's over anyway. So you've got to declare a winner and then go back and look. You don't have the option. The nearest thing you can find that would be akin to what happened today is an overtime game-winning goal in a Stanley Cup playoff game or a game-winning shot.
And they didn't call it a goal.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's the closest thing you can come to. So I don't have as much of a problem with it as you do because that's the only way to implement the review. And frankly, when it comes to instant replay reviews, this has been around longer in horse racing than it has been in some other sports for some of the things we've talked about. And, you know, from what everybody says, in fact, I think it was from the horse that won, the trainer, right?
Bill Mott.
Bill Mott said that he thought it was going to stand up just because it's the Derby, but in any other race, he felt like it would have been something that would have been overturned. Well, then it should be overturned. It shouldn't just stay just because it's the Derby and a lot of people happen to be watching and throwing money on it.
You know, but my problem, I think, is it took 22 minutes to figure it out. I mean, if you can't notice it in the first 30, 45 minutes.
But again, but that rationale, though, again, is about the call on the field. What are they going to do? There was no call on the field. You don't see somebody run onto the horse track and say, stop, stop, stop.
We're going to pick it up right here.
There's no call on the field. So, like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
That can't be like the, what do they say, the preponderance of evidence has to override the call. There is no preponderance of evidence. It happened just once, and now you're looking at it.
So you had no problem with being overturned?
Yeah, I mean, I think something more substantive than that should constitute interference.
Yes, I do too. I mean, it's a wet track too. Maybe the horse slipped. I mean, there's a lot of circumstances here.
I just want people to understand this is what you will be seeing in the NFL every week, because this is the kind of play we're talking about that is now going to be reviewed. Non-interference calls will be turned into interference calls many times over in the last 2 minutes of NFL games, and it's not going to last 22 minutes. But there's going to be 4 that might last 5 each.
It's going to be.
It's going to be brutal.
It is going to be brutal. Let's go out to Jim out in South Hills. What's up, Jim? How you doing?
Well, thanks for taking my call, guys.
No problem.
You know what, Tim? Got to let you know, I called to talk about the Kentucky Derby, but I agree with you completely about the Pirates being 15-15. Believe it or not, I'm an old man who's had season tickets for 45 years and followed baseball closely. And, you know, everything that's happened to the Buccos first 30 games is pretty
They're
amazing.
keeping their head above water in a season where they otherwise couldn't. So you just.
I agree. Yeah. Absolutely. No doubt about it. But the main purpose of my call was exactly what you guys are talking about. Gosh darn instant replay. I mean, all I do is what Richie does is watch the 3 races. And that's it. That's it. I never gamble on any, you know, horse racing. And I thought, oh, my God, now it's creeping into horse racing.
Yeah, but I don't think it's creeping in, and thanks for the call.
Yeah,
I don't think it's creeping in. I think this has always been there. And, you know, as Richie and I said, neither one of us are professing to be horse racing experts, but I've been to tracks a few times and have seen horse races held up for review.
Yeah.
You know, and they're looking. So this is not unprecedented. It's unprecedented to have it overturned in the Derby, but to review something for interference, I mean, we see it in the Olympics. We've seen it in bike racing and running on the track and field in the Olympics, too.
Yeah, I went to
Swimming.
Saratoga last year, and I thought it was fun watching horse racing, and I got into it. There was a couple that were overturned there because of objections and similar things that happen like this. But, you know, my problem is I think now these officials or stewards or whatever you want to call it, they want to get the call perfect. They want to make sure it's right, and so they're not criticized on social media. And sometimes by doing that, and you're seeing it in slow motion, I think your interpretation is maybe different than when you're seeing it in full speed. I know they interviewed other jockeys or trainers, and they got information that way too. But I think it took too long, and I don't know. I think it was like like I said, I'm not a horse racing expert, and maybe if there is one out there to call in, explain to me. But I just think it kind of ruined the Kentucky Derby for me today.
I guess, and I'm glad Al Riveron had a role today in the Kentucky Derby. I never thought I'd say that, but it is sort of the Jesse James rule, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
I mean, what's interference?
They went by the letter of the law. But the difference is between the Jesse James play and this situation is, at least in this case, correct me if I'm wrong, it was called for by the jockey of the horse that won, right? Country House?
Country House, yeah.
I think the jockey was the one that initiated it.
He's the one that initiated the objection.
Jesse James play, like that was a mandated 2-minute, you look at it because it's a scoring play situation.
Because they called it a touchdown on the field, and then they overturned it.
Exactly.
All right, this guy on line 1, would you say Don? What line you on? Line 3, Bob in North Hills. He's an expert. Thanks, Bob, for calling in. What's up, Bob?
Okay, I just wanted to explain real quick about the stewards.
Okay.
Now, what they're looking at, they're going to look at a bunch of different angles. They can't just look at one angle because of the camera positions. And the second thing they have to do is they have to judge on what horse fouled what horse that might have actually hit another horse.
Well, it was the 7 to the 1, right?
Right.
War or Wills.
The one that went into the 20. So basically what they're saying here is that you can't hit another horse and have that horse hit another horse. Now, don't forget these jockeys all know each other. So the jockey actually might on the one horse, might not have anything really problem against the jockey on the 7, but the 20 jockey does feel that the jockey on the 7 might be a little...
Okay, so all this minutia aside, though, was it a good call or not in the end?
Oh, it was definitely a good call because if
then there you go.
I mean, but don't you think they took it too far? Like we were talking about the letter of the law. I mean, you slow things down and you're looking at it, not in full speed. I mean, could it have went the other way?
No, and I'll tell you why. It was because the jockey, Luis Saez, actually let the horse have his head, which means he lets the reins out. Now, once the horse feels that, he's going to start striding, and the horse went straight. So when a horse feels those horses coming up on each side of him, his reaction is to go straight and go by him, and he's still going around a turn. Saez should have been hard on that left rein and never should have let that horse have his head until they straightened to the stretch to see if he had. The way they blame the horse cracks me up.
Oh, it's always the horse's fault.
Do you think the wet track, did the wet track have anything to do with it? Could the wet track have anything to do with it, Bob?
No, I think he's gone. But
he's gone. But
that was way more horse racing 101 than I think any of us needed for the discussion.
But I appreciate it. I learned a little bit right there.
I appreciate where he's coming from, but I think he's onto something at the end of the phone call. I have now changed my opinion, and I will blame the horse.
It's the horse's fault.
Well, that's the funniest thing on Twitter. It's like the horse had the biggest moment of its life taken away from it, and it has no idea.
All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls, some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.